you should always be comparing yourself to last week, for example, in this case, or comparing yourself to the day before. Don't be comparing yourselves to people that you see on social media that appear to portray this perfect life. Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now, this is going to be more of a raw, not really cut up YouTube video of me just talking about a certain topic that was kind of just called to me. Like, it is 2 in the morning on a Saturday night, and I really just wanted to get this message out there. And also, the main reason why I wanted to put this message out there is because it sort of kind of relates to myself and something I've been overcoming in the past, couple of years personally, for my own self growth. And if you guys seen the title of this video, it is Insanity is Literally Doing the Same Thing Over and Over. And that quote comes from the scientist Albert Einstein. And I really like this quote because I feel like as humans, we really are based off of habits and routines. Like, those are the two main things that shape our lives. Like, those are the things that will make or break where you will be in the next 3 to 5 years. And the reason why I really want to touch on that is because I feel like a lot of us really aren't very invested into the habits that we set out for ourselves, or even the bad habits that we have. We don't really see them or really have the thought, or let's say even the strength to change our habits. And it can really be difficult to implement new habits into your life, especially because a lot of us are just tired. Like, a lot of people have been through hell and back, and I can definitely relate on that. And I feel like I'm really only now at the age of 18 starting to actually change myself even more than I have in the last 2 to 3 years. It's weird because it seems like when I turned 18, less than a week ago, I've been the most consistent I've ever been in my entire life when it comes to just sort of keeping up with new habits and routines. And I can't just say that when you turn 18 there's something that just clicks. I think the biggest thing is just really sitting with yourself and unlearning the things that we've learned as humans, because I feel like we've all came out of the womb, and as we grow up and gain consciousness at the age of 5, we start to realize the world around us, and we realize that the world can be a beautiful place, and the world can also be a very, very fucked up place. I mean, let's just be honest. Things happen to good people that you know would really impact their lives. I mean, things happen to almost everyone. Bad things happen. That's just kind of the flow of life. It's the ebbs and flows. 1 minute you're going to be up here, and the next minute you can be all the way down here. I mean, that's just the way life works. The thing is, we have to learn to unlearn. So if you have habits in your life that you want to get rid of, the first thing that you need to change is the way you look at yourself. It starts with self. We have to realize that no one is coming to save us. No one is going to give us this magic message, this magic key, and magically just give us the courage and the willpower and the discipline to just get up and change our entire life. No, you have to start off small, and you also need to start with yourself. You need to stop hating yourself so much for doing these bad habits every single day. You have to stop hating yourself for not being able to do the good habits that you set out for yourself, because the more that you sit and contemplate on the things that you should have been doing in the past, and constantly giving yourself a negative belief about yourself, about not being consistent, about not being able to complete certain things that you set out for yourself to do in your day-to-day life, the more you sit there and reassure the identity of you not being able to do things, of you not being capable of being able to complete tasks or achieve a goal or do a certain thing that you set out for yourself to do, is the more that your subconscious is going to be programmed into believing that you aren't able to do those things. I mean, think about it. Is it the best thing to do for yourself? Let's say you set out a goal or habits for your day to go to the gym 4 times a week, you know, eat healthy the entire week. And maybe you gave yourself 2 days, which is the weekend, to sort of have a cheat meal, maybe on Saturday. On Monday, you started off strong, Tuesday, perfect, Wednesday, perfect. And then you make it to Thursday and you had a little bit of ice cream when you were out eating with your family. You miss a day at the gym because you wanted to go 4 days a week, but you only went 3 days out of that week. I think the most important thing is just to kind of give ourselves more grace for the things that we are achieving, because that is giving yourself more positive feedback instead of being negative, because you had a goal to go to the gym 4 times a week, but you only went 3 times. But you have to look at it. You should always be comparing yourself to last week, for example, in this case, or comparing yourself to the day before. Don't be comparing yourselves to people that you see on social media that appear to portray this perfect life. No one's life is perfect. Everyone goes through ups and downs. I'm telling you, even these celebrity billionaires, millionaires, people that look like their life is perfect, they still go through life. They still go through the ebbs and flows. Everyone always has a point where they aren't having a good month. Some people look like they may have the perfect life, especially because of social media, but trust me, not a single person on this earth has a good day every single day, because that's just not how life works. If everyone was able to have a perfect day every day, then there would be no polar opposite to that. There's always an opposite to good, there's bad. And then there's an opposite to bad, there's good. So you always have to have that sort of polar opposite. There's always that balance. There needs to be balance. There's good and bad, you get me? So even if you were going to the gym, let's say you went 3 times this week. Look at last week. How many times did you go? Let's say you only went once. Okay, you need to congratulate yourself for the streak that you were able to keep up on this week. Don't be worried about and focused on what other people are doing. This guy's going to the gym 6 times a week. This girl's going to the gym, 5 times a week, but I'm only going 3 times. No, don't look at it like that. You need to focus more on your self evolution and give yourself that positive reinforcement for actually being able to improve more than you did a week ago. Always compare yourself to yourself, never to other people. That's how you end up not feeling like your life is enough. And that's a very sucky feeling to have. Another thing is just not feeling like your life is sort of going in the direction that you want it to go in. And like we talked about, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is literally insanity. And I'm not here to make you feel like you're not doing enough, or to make it seem like, what you're doing currently is insane. But, you really have to look at the things that you do on the day to day basis and think to yourselves, where is this going to get me in the next 1 to 5 years? Like, if I continue, drinking and smoking every single second of my day, like if you genuinely have a problem, you have to look at that and see, where's that going to get me in the next 1 to 5 years. Like, you might have liver problems, and I'm not here to judge anyone. You might have lung issues, you might have withdrawals because you're dependent on a substance to feel normal, even though you should be able to function by not having that sort of addiction. Which, once again, not judging anybody, I get it. Life sucks. Sometimes we need crutches. And I just think that at other times, there has to be a point where you don't abuse this thing so much, or you don't abuse these bad habits. Even eating a lot of junk food every single day, that's something I really had a struggle with, and I still do even struggle with from time to time, is just eating healthy on a more consistent basis. But once again, I'm doing much more better than I was, for an example, a year ago. I'm eating much more healthier than I was a year ago. I'm not eating nearly as much junk food. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, I do have periods where I'll be, eating junk food almost every night for like a week straight. But listen, it's better than having it every single day out of every single month of the year. You always have to look at your past progress and compare your current progress to that progress. And like we said, habits compound, habits consistently compound. There's never a moment in your life where time stops. So everything that you're doing does matter. Like it can be a simple interaction with another human that literally can change your entire trajectory of your life. And that's like such an insane concept to grasp, even for me. Like, or a little habit like meditating 5 to 10 minutes a day can compound in a span of a few months. You'll feel so much more mentally clear and just more control of your life, because a person that is in control of their mind's a very powerful person. Don't underestimate the ability to be able to observe your thoughts instead of being the thought. You are the observer of your thoughts. And I feel like more people need to learn that, because a lot of people really get too attached to themselves and their mind and the way their mind thinks. So they aren't able to sort of see themselves as the observer. They think that they are their thoughts. You're not your thoughts. Every thought that you have up to this current moment was sort of programmed into your mind. And I know it sounds weird, but genuinely, you have to think about it. From when you were a little kid, you learned English. Then we went to school, and then school taught us these certain concepts and beliefs. Maybe you even started to listen to music and to watch certain TV shows and consume certain content. Like every single day, your thoughts are sort of being programmed in a sense. Like everything that you consume does sort of have an impact on you, whether you believe it or not. Reading books, that is changing your perception, that's changing your mind, that's changing the way you view certain things and kind of look at the world. People that you are around is also another important thing. If you're constantly hanging around the same people, where do you think that's going to bring you? If those people aren't on your level, or if they aren't trying to evolve like you, then where do you think you're going to end up in the next 1, 3 to 5 years if you're constantly surrounded around the same people? In being alone, there is power in being alone. Too many people in our generation is constantly seeking out relationships, wanting to be loved by another person, to mask the feeling of not having to learn how to love themselves. Start journaling. Just write down anything. No excuses. People always say, "Oh, I don't know what to journal about." You know how your mind is constantly thinking things? Put that on paper, and I'm telling you, it will transform so much about how you sort of think, because you're bringing those thoughts out of your head and onto paper. So you're able to observe your thought processes a lot better, because you're not keeping it up here, and you're also helping your mind sort of de-stress, because I also find that when I'm journaling, it's sort of like taking my thoughts out of my head and putting them on paper and just letting it go. It's also really good if you want to find something to sort of relieve stress. I find it to be very beneficial if I'm having racing thoughts before bed, or I'm just thinking about a certain thing that I'm very excited for that's keeping me up. In certain cases, like, just overthinking, or even if I just want to talk to someone, you can write it on paper, sort of talk to yourself in a way. Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. If it helps you, it helps you. It's honestly a beautiful habit that I think almost anyone should get into. Literally, anybody can do it. Get a regular notebook, start journaling every night, every morning, whichever works best for you. If you've made it this far into the video, I also wanted to sort of just say thank you for being here. I know this video is sort of kind of a different style and a different vibe, because I'm just talking to you like you're my best friend. Like I want to see you here every Friday, and I'm really starting to see how I'm making mistakes in my content creation journey by not being consistent. So I want to see you here next Friday. I'm going to be talking about different topics and we're just going to be chatting it up. If you have any recommendations, drop them down below in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I hope you evolve in life in the ways that you want to. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a like in this video because it does help. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.